I need my old sled. Alright, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I produced a video, but we've got some exciting news. We've got an offer in on some property. You're probably thinking, well, that looks like you should be raising cattle. Well, we're right on the edge of the hills of the trees. Some beautiful country out here, and we're happy to be here, and we'll close on the property in just a couple of weeks. There we go, into the pines now. That may look familiar to some of you. All right, so if you hadn't figured it out, that big head behind me, we're in the new home state is South Dakota. If you're unfamiliar with the U.S., maybe you're a viewer from outside the states, this is kind of the central west part of the United States. Land of the Black Hills, and behind me is Mount Rushmore. A lot of South Dakota is plains and farming, but on the western side there is the beautiful Black Hills with lots of ponderosa pine, and obviously some tourist areas like Mount Rushmore or the Crazy Horse Memorial. So it's really a great state. But I'm ready to get to work on that new property, and we will be getting to work on it soon. Oh, keep that on. Waiting on a couple contingencies to go through. We're also waiting on a land survey to stake the boundaries of it. Pretty rugged, so that's why nobody's bought it, but I think perfect to build a cabin on and also use a lot of the resources from the land like I did back on my first build. If you haven't seen that build, take a look here. I'll pin it in the video, but also stick with us for this next build. I think it's going to be, I'm going to try to go a little bigger, and I hope it's going to be a little better. We'll catch you later, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for watching. Well, 2 weeks later, just closed on the property. Just got here. Spooked a couple of bucks. Small spike horn there. The other one was bigger, but I didn't get a shot of him. Oh, maybe there's 3. But it's pretty cool. This place is loaded with deer. Alrighty, here we go. Check the back of my truck. It's going to be a little bit different commute now. Oh yeah, we don't have a truck yet. I'm still in the market for one, but got my whole tool shed here. We're ready to go. Got the essentials for now. I think I'll give you a tour. The start of the project's going to be roughing in a driveway. There's a big ravine right in the middle of the property, and the roadside here drops off pretty quick, so it's going to be quite the chore of roughing in that driveway. I've been thinking about going back and forth whether I'm going to purchase an excavator or rent one, so that's still to be determined. I've changed my mind about 50 times, but I'll get it figured out before too long, hopefully, before the ground freezes hard. But this is a spot for the driveway. As you can see, I called the dig safe guys. They came out and marked any underlying cables, so should be good to rough it in once I get that approach permit. So that's going to start here. This is roughly my plan to build my driveway down through here. You can't probably tell on video, but it's pretty steep, so it's going to be quite the task. I'm actually thinking about building a small woodshed from some of the logs here just to see how they peel, see how they react, and how fast they dry. So maybe a small woodshed first while I'm making that decision on whether I purchase or rent an excavator. But yeah, there are 3 build sites that I've located. Number 1 priority is the easiest to get to. However, if the digging's easier than I expect, I might go to the second build site where there's a nice view, and I'll show you both of those. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. A lot of work going to be involved. Hope I'm not crazy. Also found a few neat things already on the property. I've been out here quite a few times checking it out, so I'll show you those things that I found as I show you the property here. Oh, here's one thing I found. This isn't one of them, but an old tire. Hopefully that's not a sign. I looked around. It didn't seem to be a sign of like a junk pile or anything, but that's some sort of old, it looks bigger than a bike, but that's that spoke pattern. I don't know what that is, but kind of cool. There's a lot of new growth of these pine down here. Also some old growth. So at one point in time, there was actually somebody that came in here with a piece of equipment. And down here on this like creek bed, it's a dry creek bed now, but it probably holds some water in the spring around here. But right here, there's like this path and all this young growth ponderosa. There was some sort of equipment that came up through here. You can see the cut bank right here. And this leads to another person's property, but I don't know what it was, a bulldozer or an excavator pushed up through here. And then they made like a little gradual ramp right here that led to this first spot I found when I was looking at the property. And this is where my first cabin site proposal is. And this is where we did a perk test just to see how the ground would percolate for a septic system. And everything went well with that test. So this is a definite possibility here. I like this spot down in the ravine, so you're not going to get as much sun exposure. So there are some negatives about it, but it's private. You can't see any of the neighbors. It's kind of like smack dab in the middle of the property. Like a nice spot back here. I'm thinking of right back in here. It's nice and flat. I'm thinking about putting in a little woodshed over there. Oh, right now, my woodshed is, well, this pile of wood. So you can see over here. That's where I've been keeping my stuff ever since I dug those perk test holes. I just put my shovel and post hole digger down in there before we closed on the property because I didn't want to just haul it back and forth. So I got to get a better woodshed than that. And I'm thinking over there might do the trick. So yeah, we'll see. But I'll take you to the other spots. There's a real nice spot up this hill, but access would be twice as hard as getting here. Over there, my proposed driveway's cut across this side hill all the way down and then looping back up to this spot. But then to get up there, I'd have to do that cut across the side hill and then cut across another side hill to get up this pretty steep hill. But I'll take you up there, and haven't been out here for a sunrise, but I guarantee you that would be a real nice spot for one. My two sons have been here a couple times, and they have these cactus here. They didn't have any of those in Vermont. So, of course, both times my 3-year-old son's been out here, he's found a cactus and pricked himself. But I think he maybe has learned his lesson now and should steer clear of those. But here we are up on this ridge. Is just gorgeous. It's just access up here is not easy. But when you're up here, this would be an ideal spot for a cabin. Look at that. That's pretty nice. And then to get up here would be, like I said, quite a task, but something to think about. But a deer looks like they slept right here last night, right where I want a cabin. Look at that, smart deer. But look at that, I mean, they're not gonna be happy I bought this land because they've been living here. You see all the deer sign and how many deer we've seen. Oh, let's see. So yeah, we found this over here and then we put it in the tree. I'm like, is that a tooth? But no, it's a little antler stub, whether it was broke off or whatnot. We stashed it here. My son's, I'm like, oh, we can't take it. It's not our property yet, but it's just a little, it looks like almost like a tooth, but it's not sharp on the top. And it's clearly, when you look closer, just a little spike horn's antler, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, today these pines, I've read they're good for cabin building. We're gonna see what this bark is like. It's a lot thicker than the spruce I made the last cabin out of. So I'm gonna take one down today and just see how the peeling is. See how hard it is to peel. Hopefully not terrible. Yeah, no, it's I got my hood on here. It's chilly this morning, but it's supposed to warm up to 60. A lot of nice rocks. If I could get a piece of equipment. That's why I'm also thinking of buying. Because I think I could use it for longer than a rental period. I could collect rocks and help me with my logs. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They have a lot of this too, which is kind of funny because we just came from, I mean, in Vermont we had a bunch of quartz. And just like Vermont, oh yeah, I mean, that's just cool. I just love the white quartz. I don't want to do something, incorporate that into the cabin somehow, some way. I need to take a break, get a sip of water. Let's do a quick commercial and I'll be right back with you. Take a look at this baby. It's the new iHood heated winter jacket. It's waterproof. It has a nice lighted icon to show you the heating zones. It has 3 different heating zones and 3 different settings for each heating zone: hot, warm, and less warm. And then it also has the bottom icon where you can turn the light off if that's not your sort of thing. And it's a real nice product. The coat is sleek. It has a ton of pockets, chest pockets, a nice big hood. I was really impressed with the style of it. I'm not sure I'll be able to, it's too nice for me to wear through the woods, but maybe on light days where I'm not at risk of messing it up, I'll wear it. But I'm really happy with this jacket. The heat is really warm. Look at that. You can go jogging in it. Who is that guy? I'm a fan of it. I've been using it now. It hasn't been that cold, but now, as you can see, the snow's on the ground. I'll be using it pretty much every day. I'm 6'8", so I actually added that bottom strip on with the buttons there, just so it looked like a better fit on me. But my mom did a lot of the sewing. I helped her out a little bit, but don't tell anybody. Rechargeable battery. It shows you the percent on it. It's got a patch for a logo. It comes with an American flag logo. However, I don't think it's made in America, but also has the icon of the battery percentage. Here it shows 55%. The hood fully unzips, comes off just like that. Got a couple of buttons on it. So if you're not a hood guy, take it off. Oh, but look at me, freezing out here. I got to get this heated jacket on. Take a look at it. I'll put the link in my description. The iHood heated jacket. I give it 2 thumbs up so far. Appreciate them for sending it out. Yeah, okay, back to your regular scheduled program. You can just take a look up there. Is the corner of the property. You can see the little stake right there. That's halfway up the hill on the other side, so we won't walk up there, but we had that survey done and we were waiting on that for a couple weeks. But that's going to be really helpful, so I'm not on my neighbor's land. If I'm doing any work, I know exactly where the property is. And then that third build site that it has potential is right here. Just another little grassy area. This one has more sun than the first one too, but also quite a bit harder to get to. Yeah, a lot of thinking to do. Then when we were walking around the other day, we found this rock that had a hole in it. It almost looked like a geode. So we left it here somewhere. See if I can find it again. Yeah, right here. My boys wanted to smash it open because there's a shine you can see coming from that hole. Probably can't see it with the camera, but we'll bring it home, and boys wanted to take a look. And then look, Dad, there's all kinds of those nice big pine cones here, so I'll make you a good deal on them. Just kidding. Collect as many as you want. He makes some rustic furniture out of birch bark and pine cones and other things, so he'll appreciate some of this stuff too. And oh yeah, and I have one more thing I gotta show you. I found this is probably the coolest. Yeah, but see, I'm not the only one that uses this path. There it is. There you go. Look at that. It's been there a while. Critters have been chewing on the antlers, but an old deer skull. I think I'll bring that up over there. All right, but there you go. I showed you the highlights of the property. I'm out here in the morning, my first day. Like I said, we just purchased the land, so I'm gonna get to work. First thing I'm gonna do is cut a couple of these ponderosas down and just see how the peeling goes right now. We are just barely above freezing, so it might be a situation where they're a little harder to peel, but like I said, it's gonna warm up today, so we'll get one out in the sun and see how the peeling goes. It'll be kind of weird. It's been a while. I have to get back into it, but I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. It's raw land and quite a bit of work to make it what we want. We'll try to take as many resources and use them here on the property as we can. And hopefully it all works out. I appreciate you guys following the journey. Hopefully that continues. All right, I think I'm gonna go back up to the van, get my chainsaw, sharpen it up, and bring my draw knife down and get to work. All right, see you in a minute. There we go. You know what I need? I need my old sled. That was one of the things I had to do away with in Vermont. Didn't fit in the Penske truck, so I'll have to be on the lookout for a good sled to haul, you know, some of the smaller debris in to help clean up. But if I buy an excavator, I might not ever use that sled again. Where I want to put a little shed, I'm thinking about over here, but I'm also thinking about back here. Boy, decisions are tough. Anyways, I cleaned that up. I was gonna cut that tree. I don't know if I want that tree. I want to cut a tree I want. So, might look for a different one. Problem is, all my straight trees are on that hill. There's a big ravine there. So, I mean, it's pretty thick. I'm 15 feet from the bottom of that ravine right now, from the bottom. So you got to go get a tree over there where all my good lumber is, down 15 feet, haul it up 15 feet. I mean, I should really not be doing too much of that if I'm going to get a piece of equipment in here that could do a lot of that work for me. I also read that these ponderosa pine grow extremely fast. So, you know, this roadway here that was cut out by a piece of equipment might not have been that long ago, just because, you know, in 30 years they get to be full size. These are not even, they're still little sprouts, but that could be just a few years ago with how fast they grow. Who knows? Hopefully they didn't abandon this place for a reason that I'm going to find out later, because that would be a real bummer. We'll be hopeful that that was an old path from long ago. Old cedar tree. Look at that red. Sweet. Never had a cedar tree. Oh, it smells good though. Yeah, it smells good. Kind of feel like bagging some of those chips, bringing them home. Is that weird? I don't know if I'm gonna cut these little cedars because I might dig them up and put them somewhere else. We'll see. I won't cut them yet. I'm just trying to get it so I can walk through here instead of up the steep slope, and pretty much done. So I think it's a good time to take a little lunch break. Oh, that good. Got a nice trail through there now. No, whoop. Safety first. You know, that went pretty quick, so take a look at this little path. Originally, when I first walked the property and I found this little path, I'm like, this would be perfect. Make a little walk-in cabin up here. And then, you know, go to find out, do a little more research. You can't, I was thinking of a cabin with like a composting toilet, so I didn't have to have a huge trail in here, a driveway, and just maybe like a walk-in cabin. But then when I talked to the county, they say composting toilets aren't even allowed and septics are required. You have to have like a septic plan just before you can get, even before you can get a building permit on something over like, I don't know how many square feet it was, but something pretty small. Any sort of building that you're gonna be living in, you gotta have a full septic system, so, or living in or staying in. So that kind of ruined my plans for a walk-in cabin, but hopefully we can get this driveway to work. Otherwise, you know, that would be a disaster. But all right, I'm gonna get some lunch. I can't just stop back at the house now. Never had one of those. Whew, those are good. My sister just introduced me to them and got me a bunch. Oh, they're almost gone now. They will be gone soon. I don't know what this thing's called. I'm taking a rest here under that ponderosa tree here. I just ate some lunch and laid down next to this puppy here, and that thing goes right through your clothes and pricks you. I don't know what that is, but anyone from South Dakota that watches, let me know what this is called, but I might have to pull a couple of those up. Holy smokes, that's sharp. Oh, just enjoying this blue sky in November. 60 degrees now, I think, up here. Oh, just gorgeous. Had to go in the shade, it's so nice. But good snow next week, so I don't want to talk too much about it. All right, we got 3 odd leaners up here. 2 of them are still alive, so there might be some good wood in parts of them, so I'm going to take them down. That'll be the first trees of the new build. We got some processing to do now. Look at those crooked suckers. Of course, I said I was going to try to find one over there. That's where the shed's going, across the ravine, but I decided to make it harder on myself and came over here for the appropriate size lumber. So, got my ropes. Guess I'll haul them over. Maybe I'll peel them here first to make them a little slipperier. One thing I'll say is that smell. I hit this tree with a hatchet a little bit and just see how it would peel. Oh, it's a strong, strong pine smell compared to the spruce. So that's kind of cool. I still got to get this hanger down. on. Right into that one. Well, I'd say the bark is thicker. Now, it's definitely thicker, but it's not too much harder to draw knife with a sharp draw knife. So don't think I'll have to sell the property. I think we'll be able to do something with this. Yeah, and the smell is, I don't know if that means it's wetter or just the time of year I'm doing it. Last winter, obviously, is when I peeled all the other cabin. So there wasn't as much moisture content, but I actually have a moisture meter. So we'll do that next time. Take a look at the moisture content of a freshly cut one this time of year in November here. But yeah, these look nice. They clean up nice. It's not terrible to peel. It will be harder in the cold, but we'll get through it. I'm happy to see that. I was kind of nervous about peeling one, how hard it would be. But I know people have done it, so there we go. We'll get that over there, clean the rest of this pile up, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, here's the first log of the new cabin. I don't know, it's just a short stubber, but it'll be something. Foundation piece, maybe. Whew, I don't know, but there we have it. Boy, that smells good, but that's probably a bit heavier than what I dealt with last year. Just, whew. Oh, I'm getting older. Look at that. All right, one of many. Here's the woodshed for the night under this big pine tree. That's not appropriate. We got to get something done here. I'll wrap the video up here. It's probably getting pretty long, but I'm happy to be back making videos as long as you guys are happy watching them. So I'll keep producing them if you guys like them. I hope you enjoyed the property, and I hope you like the new build. I'm excited to get started. Today was a good day. It felt good to be back in it. I know I'm going to be a little tired tomorrow, so might be a little lighter day tomorrow, maybe do some more video editing and get this video out for you guys. But give it a like if you like it, and leave me a comment if you have any questions about the property. I'll be pretty open about since I'm on here broadcasting everything. But anyways, appreciate it. Oh, we also got to split that rock open, see if there's a geode inside. Maybe I'll have to wait for next episode. You got to stick around for episode 2 of the new cabin build to see if that rock contained any crystals. But maybe there's some gold in there, and we'll switch gears altogether if that happens. We'll be gold mining channel. But no, looking forward to this cabin build. We'll start with that woodshed. I got to continue to do my research on excavators, rent versus buy. A lot more research before I fully commit to that. But I want to commit before it gets too cold, because the ground might freeze. I really don't know what the winter holds around here. I'm hoping it's not as cold and snowy as Vermont, and everything I've heard is it fluctuates. It'll freeze thaw, so that would be really helpful if it did that, and there's no like real hard freeze where I can't dig or I can't, peel trees. But I was pleasantly surprised with how the ponderosa pine cleanup looks exactly like the spruce after it's peeled. You really can't tell a difference. Just getting through that bark is pretty much similar too. It's not the easiest, but it's not the hardest. So that's a positive sign. So everything's looking good. I'm gonna climb out of the canyon here and get to the van and get home, eat some supper. Alrighty, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. I just stepped on this. More signs of civilization. What in the marble? Who knows? The west central United States.